Would you like to make your very own custom camping chair or Viking chair like this one I made? It is simple and portable and can be easily stored away anywhere. It is made out of Salinga hardwood, which is locally known as gomu and is very common in Southern Africa. So just check out this awesome quick video so you can see how you can make your very own camping chair.
Memento Mori. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think.
I was very excited when my client asked me to make him a chair with this skull. I live by Memento Mori. I even have a tattoo of it on my arm. I started out by picking up the straightest wood that I had. I had previously planed these woods at a milling yard since I don't have a planer yet. Then I took it in the shop and cut it down to 1 meter long pieces. So Memento Mori is a Latin term that basically means remember your death or remember that you are mortal. I then ripped those boards on each side, trimming them down to 11 centimeters width. So some may think thinking of death is a bit weird, but death is quite important to remember now and again. It encourages us to reflect on the importance of life and helps us to prioritize what truly matters in the face of inevitable death. After jointing those boards on my table saw, it was time for glue up. I glued up both of the panels at once, applying glue on the outer boards of each panel. Trying to keep those boards flat, I put some clamps at the ends of the joints, trying to keep them straight and flat. Then I just added a bunch more clamps and left it overnight to sit. Then the next day came by and I bell sanded those things till I had these beautiful panels. The greatest honor a Roman could receive was a triumph through Rome, which you would march victorious led by a chariot, but yet you would have a servant follow close behind who would whisper in your ear, Memento Mori, to remind them at their greatest moment of triumph to be reminded that they are still mortal. Here I am marking up the seat part of the chair, which is 30 centimeters from the top. Then I marked 8 centimeters from the outer edge to have the middle piece have a 1 to 2 centimeter off the outer board for some extra strength for our tenon. Using my circular saw, I cut along the lines, then I finished it up with a jigsaw. With my tenon piece done, now I started working on my mortise side of the chair with the other panel, marking a 30 centimeter mark from the bottom and also 8 centimeters from the sides. I drilled 10 millimeter holes on those markings to allow my jigsaw blade to enter. Then I cut out that mortise and finessed it till the tenon was able to enter. So if you just wanted a simple camping chair, it's pretty much done at this point. Here's a side illustration of how exactly it works. It's pretty neat, but since I need to make that skull artwork, we need to get back in the workshop and work on this skull and see how we can make it come to life. So another challenge I faced with this build is that I do not have a bandsaw. So I had to make a DIY bandsaw with my jigsaw to get more precise cuts. This DIY bandsaw actually has a couple of advantages over an actual bandsaw. Some being that you can make internal cuts, it's not limited by the bandsaw throat plate, since this one will be modular. Plus, it's a very cheap alternative if you don't have a bandsaw like I don't. So I managed to successfully secure the jigsaw below, and I used a cable tie to hold down the trigger to keep it on. I now turn it off and on from my wall socket. I could just use the jigsaw just like this, but if you've ever used a jigsaw before, you know that the blade has a tendency to go out of square when making curved cuts. So I made this temporary structure to keep it at a 90 degree. So my DIY jigsaw is basically done and it's ready to work right now. So do you think you would ever use this in your shop, or do you already have one? I think it's a quite useful jig even if you do have a bandsaw, like in the cases when you need to make those internal cuts on a certain project. So for this skull printout, I will use glue stick to secure it to the wood and use it as a guide while I continue doing some carving. One of the most life-changing exercises as far as Memento Mori goes came from Seneca. Seneca says, don't see death as something that is in the future, that you are moving towards. See it as something that is happening right now. You are dying every minute, you are dying every day. The time that passes belongs to death. So I don't think of the fact that I am 31 years old. That means I probably have like 45 years left. I think instead that I have died 31 years and I have died all these minutes I have spent preparing this video for you. So why am I doing it? Because this is important to me. If it wasn't important, I shouldn't be doing it, right? And since I am doing it, I should do it as if it matters. I should give it my best. I would really appreciate if you are enjoying this video, if you can smash that like button for me. This will help my video to spread to more people that might enjoy this video as much as you did. Thank you for doing that for me. So some of those edges are a bit rough, so I had to refine them with some sandpaper and also some wood filers. I had to work on the seat a little bit, cutting those sharp corners down for a more comfortable seat. Then I went on with a small round over bit on my router and broke all those sharp edges. No one really wants a chair to give them splinters. I made sure to sand the chair all the way up to 220 grit to prepare it for finish. Before I went on to apply varnish on this chair, I made this back storage area for the chair to be stored away as a one single unit when it's not in use. Then I went on and applied 4 coats of clear varnish, since sometimes it might stay outside and so on. Once it dried up, I installed this handle on the side for easier carriage and so on. I used an old bag strap that I had in the house. Since you have enjoyed this video, I'm sure you will love this DIY pool table that I built out of plywood. Make sure to check it out next. Like and subscribe.